How's it going? We are the Get Up Kids. My name is Rob.
I'm Jim.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Dustin.
We're at Amoeba Music in San Francisco.
And this is what's in our bag.
Gentlemen, you know this one? This is the first album by Unwound. They're one of my absolute favorite bands. That's the only record of theirs that I do not own. I've had a CD of that for a very long time. I have all of their records, except that one and all their 7-inches.
And the one that you left in the back of a cab.
Oh, I left a record in the back of a car.
Paramore. Interesting.
Paramore.
All right.
This is why I don't leave the house. You say the coast is
My kids love Taylor Swift, and I've been seeing a lot of videos of Paramore playing. They're just on tour together. And they are truly blowing me away. Like, to command 60,000 people the way they do, it's insane. And this record, I think, is really great. And to be a band of their caliber and size, to not be afraid to kind of make a more left to center record like this, I commend them. It's great.
I'm always running out of time. She's always running out of time.
You know, classic. Heard it a bunch, remastered, but I bet it's gonna sound even better.
I bought that record at the Amoeba in LA about 15 years ago.
Very nice. A friend of mine did a painting of this that's in my house, so
Yeah.
that's kind of fun too.
Little fun fact.
Yeah.
Do you know Phil Collins plays drums on that record?
Oh, I thought that was Phil Collins.
No.
Waiting here, always failing to remember why we...
I first picked up a VHS of Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is kind of self-explanatory. What a great movie. I remember having to choose as a child whether I should go see Raiders of the Lost Ark or The Secret of Nim.
It's a fantasy with wizards and villains.
I was 5 years old at the time, and you would think I would choose the cartoon. Both are horrific to a 5-year-old to some extent, but I chose Raiders of the Lost Ark and have been obsessed since. Recently, my son, he's got the collecting gene, and basically I had to get him a 13-inch cathode ray tube TV so he could watch VHS. He says there's some magic in the soul of the VHS that doesn't exist in digital playback or streaming.
So these are two records that go together. It's Manchester Orchestra's Cope and Hope. And this is the record that came out, and this record's very, very heavy.
Every stone I've thrown has gone away. It's gone away.
And then this is the same songs, but acoustic and stripped down.
Every stone I've thrown has gone away. It's gone away.
I think oftentimes when people do like like an acoustic version of a record, it just gets kind of like MTV Unplugged, or whatever, and they just reorchestrated the whole thing to the point where I remember driving and listening to this version of it and being like, okay, here comes the heavy part, like how are they gonna do that? And it just swooped in with all these strings and stuff, and I was like, can we swear here? Yes. It's like, fucking goddamn it, Andy, like how did you, it was just beautiful, it was just absolutely beautiful.
Sebado's Bake Sale, which just came out 30 years ago.
But I know what I would like to...
Bake Sale and Harmacy by Sebado are two of my favorite records. And I have Harmacy on vinyl, but I don't have this record. Rebound and License to Confuse are classics.
When I think of like 90s indie rock, and someone's like, what's that sound like? I would say it's seminal. Then we wrote a song called Lou Barlow, and somehow, by the grace of God, we got Lou Barlow to be in our video for a song called Lou Barlow.
I saw Lou Barlow on the street. I don't think he noticed me. I started humming on his...
Dio, Holy Diver.
Yep.
So, growing up in the 80s, you might know of the Satanic Panic that was gripping the nation. And this band literally terrified me. And they had like the videos where the kid goes down the elevator and gets like trapped in this like purgatory. Years later, my buddy Josh, fun thing we like to do is have some beers and we put on YouTube and we watch like concert videos. And we were watching this video of Dio where it was like a dragon breathing fire. The drummer was like 30 feet above the stage. It was like insane. I'm like, I would pay $100 to see that concert. And now I'm a massive fan. And Dio's an incredible singer and the riffs are awesome.
I don't know much about Dio.
I don't know anything about Dio.
You're gonna learn a lot.
There's no sign of the morning coming. You've been left on your own.
Art Blakey.
Okay.
Big fan as a drummer. Cool that this just came out. Essentials. Great for getting shit done around the house for me. So
That's what you listen to?
I like listening to some jazz when
That
when I
sounds
get
like a
to-
good Sunday morning record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some coffee, just got out of the sauna.
Yeah, exactly.
We've had a lot of discussion in the bus about perfect records, and there are many out there, and we all know a lot of them, be it Velvet Underground record or a Weezer record or whatever. But mine is not necessarily the first perfect record by this artist that comes to mind. So Joni Mitchell, be Blue, or you know, Court and Spark. But for me, this is damn near perfect. It is perfect to me. I think everything about the recording, the songs have a lot of discussion about adult themes. Not that she was ever light on those to begin with. And the playing is immaculate. Jocko gets a lot of love out there, but his playing on this is just incredible. This is just an all-around perfect record.
You just picked up a hitcher, a prisoner of the white lines on the freeway.
I went through all the George Jones stuff because I was looking for this song, Mr. Fool. I love listening to it, and it's one of my like warm-up vocal songs because it just kind of goes like all over the place. It's like,
As Jones would.
But I can't find it on any like streaming things. So when I want to warm up to it, I have to like listen to this like goofy, weird country record covers. Or just like this is I guess this is a guitar, but the sound hole isn't up here. It'd be down here or in the middle. Like it's just bizarre.
And I will never be the fool I was before.
Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back.
While some shrivelable like comatose walking around, please don't confuse this with the sound. I'm talking about bass.
This record changed my life as a kid. Before I got into rock and roll, I kind of exclusively listened to Public Enemy for years. And that one is insanely good.
Yeah.
Front to back. No misses on that one. All hits.
Used, abused without clues. I refuse to blow a fuse. They even had it on the news. Don't believe the hype. Don't.
Blur, live at Wembley Stadium.
And when she lets me slip away,
Gun to my head, you gotta say who's your all-time favorite band. I would probably say Blur. Love Blur, love Britpop. Always been kind of an Anglophile. I had tickets in the queue, lined up, like ready to go to one of these shows last year. It was like, I just can't do it. But because we love Britpop so much, we did just score tickets to the last Manchester and the first Wembley concerts for Oasis.
We did.
Because for 10 years we've been saying if they ever get back together, we're going.
Now, if only Blur could be the support band.
Yeah, good luck.
I don't think that's gonna happen. But anyway, so I didn't get to go to that, but now I can live vicariously through this album.
I had to get this.
That one's pretty good.
You know, I've got it. I have it. The record's kind of fucked up, but now with the reissue,
Yeah.
it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of good stuff on there.
One of my faves.
I love music from New Orleans, and one song that always pops up is Iko Iko. I love that song so much in any of its forms that I named my daughter Iko. This, to me, is the top shelf recording of this song. You know, whether Professor Longhair, The Meters, Dr. John, The Grateful Dead even, but this is the one. The Dixie Cups really captured it. All the songs on here are lovely, but this song has a special place in my heart. I can remember the first times I've listened to it. I've listened to it thousands of times. It's on every playlist I make for something, and so important that I named a child after it. Dixie Cups. Don't miss out.
My daughter, Lily, she got into punk rock kind of like mid-teens, and she was kind of one of the reasons that like I haven't fallen into that middle-aged, grumpy, like, the kids don't like guitars anymore shit. I picked these two records that I wanted to get for her because I think she may already have them, but I don't think she has them on vinyl, and that is Mannequin Pussy and Destroy Boys, who are both very, very good. And I saw Mannequin Pussy at Riot Fest one time, so I have that on her, on Lily, that I've seen them play and she hasn't. She's seen Destroy Boys and I haven't. It's very much like, okay, the kids are still making punk rock, and then there's angry femmes, queer, people of color, people who are angry at the world who should be. I don't feel so like jaded about the world. So these are both great records, and I'm excited to give them to her.
That's why I'm gonna tell you that it should have been me. Terminal disease that be giving you scores.
This is the new record by Yard Act, English group.
But oh my God, it's ace. Just look at my face. I'm on top of the world.
I love a band that doesn't take themselves very serious, and their lyrics are very funny. There's a song on here called We Make Hits that's pretty self-explanatory.
You know what?
They remind me...
Manifesting.
Sorry, they're manifesting, yeah. They remind me... I got really into that band Art Brut like 15 years ago or so.
From the band, we from the band. Look at us, we from the band.
And they remind me of that kind of English humor that I enjoy so much.
Art Brut's another great band.
Yeah, and I like a band that can laugh at themselves, you know? Because what we do is ridiculous most of the time.
We make hits, super millennial men, and we do it again every night on the back of the bus. You know it ain't no fuss.
Fugazi is like probably one of the most important bands for me personally of like how I found about punk rock. So this record, I saw them on this tour going into my sophomore year freshman, and it was a time in my life like I was kind of trying to figure out who I was, and I think I found like community in punk rock, and this band really opened the door to so many, like the world of music outside that's not on the radio. And they're an important band to our band, and I think an important band to most bands of our ilk, I would say. Yeah.
When I think of high school, one of the things that I think of the most is riding around in your car listening to that record on cassette.
Yeah.
I grew up about an hour and 15 minutes from Tulsa in Arkansas, and J.J. Cale was a constant presence in my life through my parents, and there's no better smooth rhythm and blues man than J.J. Cale. I highly recommend him. Just put it on and you can breeze away a Sunday afternoon.
Aging moon, why does your power lie as you move?
This is Scot Dream by Jeff Rosenstock on Polyvinyl. So this record, he had this record called No Dream, and he's a big, ska dude. Can only imagine when they got the word at Polyvinyl that like, yeah, I want to re-record the whole record but make it ska, that they would probably like, okay. But that's the great thing about Polyvinyl is that they'll let you do whatever the fuck you want. But this record's really cool. He did like a really cool version of it because like, I think from our early days of touring, what we always often saw younger people playing ska music was like what I guess they call third wave ska, which was like, you know, kind of goofy a little bit. Like it was sort of like a little bit like silly. And this is like coming at it with like a reverence, and it's more like Operation Ivy than Real Big Fish.
I try to see the other side by people who have never tried to see the other side.
One of my favorites from being a kid. I've been meaning to get the remastered version, and here it is.
It sounds really good.
I have listened to it, but not at my own home.
Yeah.
So I'll look forward to that.
Amazing. Rob and I,
Thank you, Steve Albini.
we're lucky
Yeah.
boys, and with our sophomore year of high school, we got to see Nirvana on that tour in Kansas City, and that was one of those shows that like
Oh,
life-changing
That was my
show.
first concert.
And do you remember I was grounded that weekend?
I
Ryan.
was grounded too.
It wasn't
but
that good.
I was
Sorry.
really grounded.
I basically told mom and dad that I was going to run away from home if they didn't let me go to that show.
That's a true story.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for shopping with us today.
Yeah. Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thanks.
If I had